You scripted, you visualized, you did the 369 method, you built the vision board, you followed the teachers, read the books, watched the videos, and then one day you sat down, opened your journal, looked back at everything you had written, everything you had believed in, everything you had asked for, and you realized none of it came true, not one thing. And in that moment, a thought crept in, the one you did not want to have. Maybe this does not work for me. Maybe I am the problem. I need you to stop right there. Because what you just felt is the most common experience in the entire manifestation community, and it is also the most misunderstood one. So before you close this video, before you decide that manifestation is not for you, I need to tell you something that nobody in this space has been honest enough to say out loud. You were not failing. You were given an incomplete map. And before I show you what is missing from that map, I need to show you something first. Because if you do not understand this one thing, everything else I'm about to tell you will not make sense. Here it is. Your conscious mind, the part of you that sets intentions, writes affirmations, and visualizes your dream life, controls approximately 5% of your total mental and emotional activity. 5%. The other 95% is being run by your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind does not speak in affirmations. It does not respond to vision boards. It does not care what you wrote in your journal this morning. Your subconscious mind speaks in frequency, in deeply embedded patterns and programs that were installed in you before you were even 7 years old. Programs shaped by every experience of lack, every moment of rejection, every time you were told you were not enough. And here is the part that makes this so painful. Those programs run silently. You cannot see them. You cannot feel them operating. All you know is that you are doing everything right on the surface and nothing is changing. And because you cannot see the program, you conclude that you are the problem. But you are not the problem. The program is the problem. And there is a very big difference. Think of it this way. Imagine you are trying to send an important message. You write it perfectly. Every word is right. Every intention is clear. But the signal you are transmitting it on is broken, conflicted. The message never arrives the way you intended, not because the message was wrong, but because the signal was not aligned. That is exactly what is happening when you manifest and nothing comes through. Your conscious desire is the message. Your subconscious programming is the signal. And if they are not aligned, the universe receives the signal, not the message. This is why some people seem to manifest effortlessly, while others who are trying just as hard, believing just as deeply, doing all the same techniques, get nothing. It is not about effort. It is not about positivity. It is not about worthiness. It is about frequency alignment between what you consciously want and what your subconscious actually believes is possible for you. Now here is the part that nobody is talking about. And this is where everything changes. The subconscious mind is not equally accessible at all times. In your normal waking state, your brain is operating in what is called the beta frequency range. This is the state of active thinking, analysis, and problem solving. In beta, your conscious mind is fully engaged and your subconscious is protected behind a wall. Affirmations bounce off that wall. Visualizations stay at the surface. Nothing penetrates deeply enough to actually rewrite the program underneath. But there are specific states where that wall comes down completely, where the subconscious becomes open, receptive, and ready to receive new programming. The first is the theta state. This is the brain frequency that occurs naturally in the moments just before you fall asleep and just after you wake up. In theta, the critical filter of the conscious mind relaxes and new beliefs can actually reach the subconscious and begin to take root. The second is the delta state. This is the frequency of deep, dreamless sleep. In delta, the subconscious is doing its deepest processing. It is reinforcing the programs that will determine your entire experience when you wake up. Now here is what almost everyone in the manifestation space is missing. You do not have to force yourself into these states through years of meditation practice, because there is something that guides the brain into these states naturally, effortlessly, and consistently. Something that has been used in research settings for decades to create measurable shifts in belief systems and subconscious programming. And that something is sound frequency. specifically calibrated audio frequencies that your nervous system responds to automatically without any conscious effort on your part. When you are exposed to the right frequencies, your brain begins to entrain to them. It begins to shift its own operating state. The wall between your conscious and subconscious minds softens. And for the first time, the things you have been trying to believe, the abundance, the love, the worthiness, can actually reach the place where they need to go to create real change. This is not New Age theory. This is neuroscience. This is how the brain actually works. And it is the missing piece that explains why some people transform seemingly overnight, while others spend years doing all the right things and feel like nothing is moving. The people who finally break through are not the ones who tried harder. They are the ones who went deeper. They stopped fighting the subconscious and started speaking its language. And when they did, everything they had been working toward on the surface suddenly had a foundation beneath it. Manifestation stopped being a struggle. It started being inevitable. So if you are sitting here today feeling like a failure, feeling like maybe this just does not work for you, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken. You have not been doing it wrong. You have been working with half the tools, and now you know about the other half. The shift you have been looking for does not happen at the surface. It happens in the quiet, in the deeper place where your subconscious finally gets to hear something different, something that does not bounce off the wall because it speaks the right language. When that happens, and it can happen faster than you think, manifestation stops feeling like work. It starts feeling like remembering something you always knew was true. You are not alone in this. Thousands of people felt exactly what you are feeling right now and found their way through. Tell me in the comments, how long have you been on this journey? And what is the one thing you have been trying to manifest that just will not budge?